we must study some international models. So Petronas is a JV partner with Indian Oil in India, and our management requested them to host a team, of which I was part of. And we went to Malaysia, we went to Kuala Lumpur and nearby areas, and we saw their outlets, how they're doing the business, and how they're positioning their different kind of offerings to the customers within the layout of the retail outlet, which was worth learning.
Sir, hearing how you moved between those layers of leadership so fluidly, it really makes me curious about where the arc leads next. With such a diverse and accomplished journey behind you, do you see yourself leaning further into strategic board roles now? Or is there a new kind of challenge or vision that you are quietly working towards? Hello, everyone, and welcome back to FaceTime with Leaders, brought to you by Directors Institute, World Council of Directors. Now, today I've got someone with me whose journey reads like a roadmap through India's energy transformation. Fuel, infrastructure, renewables, digital, you name it. Mr. Nikhil Deep Mathur, it's really great to have you with us today.
Thank you. Thank you, Tanay. Nice talking to you, and nice talking to everybody through you. And I'm really looking forward to it.
Likewise, sir. I was going through your background again this morning, and what struck me is how fluidly you moved across different spaces, like from hardcore engineering to high stakes board decisions. It's not something you see every day, sir.
Definitely, yes. I think I've made a good career and went off well. And I like. I told you I've started out with a engineering degree from BITS Pilani, and after that, slowly I moved into a sales role, which has given me very good leadership positions in the oil industry. And having seen everything, I have also moved to some board positions. I have a very good experience of the entire energy sector, including the transition which you just referred.
I know, sir, and that's why I'm really excited about today. So, sir, let's begin. Looking at everything you've led, it's clear that this journey wasn't built overnight. But before the milestones and the leadership roles, there must have been some moments that defined your path. So, could you please take us through how it all began and what shaped your career journey to what it is today?
So Tanay, above all, like I'm sure you must be also a good India lover. So I'm a hardcore patriot, and I take it. I can wear it on my sleeve also. So I started out when I was a young boy with very great passion towards the Indian Army, and I'm just putting it in perspective so that you understand how it all began. So as a young boy, I always used to think that I'll be joining the army, and I was quite athletic, even though I was quite brilliant student also. So then I got my NDA examination after my 11th, and I got selected through the NDA. And during the NDA, I think just I want to mention that although the exam, UPSC exam was quite good, I mean, it was quite easy for me. But the main defining moment was the four-day SSB interview. I think it's something which everybody else should also undergo, even if I would say short of joining the army. It is an excellent thing which brings out the best in you, and it exposes you all the entire aspects of your personality. So that is what gave me a lot of confidence in my future. I think having cleared that and having received the letter from the NDA to join, although my parents convinced me not to at that time. They said that you become an engineer and then you make your career choices. So that point of time, I couldn't join, but definitely I'm a die-hard patriot and always feel for the defense forces. And fortunately, when I joined Indian Oil, although at that before Indian Oil, I was working for a state government department called Public Health Engineering Department. So that was something not to my liking too much. So I just uh, got out of it, and after clearing the Indian Oil exam and having selected. So Indian Oil is something which is also working with the defense forces, and it covers the entire nation. It is also a national PSU, so which gave me a very good platform to do my duty, give it to the nation whatever I could in many ways. So that is something which I would like to mention, that I started out with an engineering projects department. I created facilities. I created facilities for the company as well as for railways, where we do local fueling, and I also created many other facilities in defense establishments for their needs. So all those things were very very helpful in making me exposed to the entire gamut of the activities of this company, great company. And then seeing my customer oriented approach, my seniors thought that I should be moved to the sales team. So then I got my promotion, and at that point of time I was made a area sales manager at Udaipur, where I served for some time, almost 4 years, and I learned the knack of being a salesperson for the petroleum liquid sales. And there are a lot of companies there, including the defense. And I think I served Hindustan Zinc, textile companies, as well as our own petrol pump network. So slowly the scenario was changing, and things were going more and more liberalized. During that scenario, I could manage that thing in my day-to-day activity, and with a very good customer orientation, I could maintain the or expand the business of the company. And it also used to have a government coordination, where you used to all the time, because it being a essential product, we were always in contact with the district administration of the way. I was looking after 5 districts. Later on I got promoted and I moved on to a divisional office setup. So that division something where it is a sales team only. The sales team is that is a controlling office for the sales team. So I was working there in the similar capacity, but doing a little higher level work. And from there only, I saw an opportunity came my way, and I got selected for the prestigious sponsored MBA program in MDI, which was an MBA program with the energy sector, where I had colleagues from NTPC, ONGC, and there it was a 1 year program, and I was very very excited to do that, because it was a very strenuous program. And we also got an international element of it, where we were taken for almost 6 weeks in ESCP EAP Paris, where we did courses on international marketing and international culture, finance. So it was a very valuable program for me. And later on, when I joined back, I started getting leadership roles. And the first level I told you, the division office, is the first level of the leadership in the sales in our company. So I was made the divisional in charge of a divisional office, which was coming afresh, which was another challenging thing I have done in my career. That I don't know whether you've heard of the merger with IBP. There was used to be a company called IBP, and Indian Oil merged that company into itself. And during that time, new divisional offices were opened, and the manpower was also merged. So at that point of time, when I was made in charge, I had to create the new divisional office, new setup, right from scratch, right from searching for a suitable office to furniture, everything, setting up the systems, network, everything. So that was quite valuable experience. And at the same time, the manpower which got integrated also, we had to integrate that manpower as well as work with them and bring them into our culture, Indian Oil's culture. So that was something very, very challenging. In fact, there were a lot of friction initially, as you would imagine, and slowly and slowly, with the leadership style, I developed a leadership style which I already had in me, of cooperation, as well as being tough on the result orientedness, being considerate, and also learning atmosphere was to be created, so that they learned what is the culture of the company, Indian Oil, and how performance has to be driven. So those were the things which came very handy at a very young age to me, and I think that has stayed with me all the time. And later on, I went on to lead other teams. Then I went on to lead even bigger teams, 5 or 6 such divisional offices in the state of Karnataka, in the state of Bihar and Jharkhand. So this is how the journey has been. And at the same time, during all those times, there were the changes, the dynamic changes which are in the environment, and competition grew, and we had to upgrade ourselves. So all those things kept on going. So ultimately, I have being recognized as a good leader, and finally I was posted as executive director of digital transformation uh, last year, where I'm leading the all India transformation and non-fuel activities. So that is something which is my journey, and I think I have no regrets, and I've I've enjoyed this journey quite a lot.
100%. So truly, it sounds like a wonderful journey. Being nominated to the board of Lanka IOC and Indian Oil Finergy Limited isn't just recognition, it's a reflection of trust in your strategic foresight. What did stepping into a boardroom role require of you that was different from your earlier leadership positions, and how did you ready yourself to contribute at that level where decisions shape entire sectors?
So Tanay, actually, being in the leadership positions and in our head office, I was exposed to a little board activities when we were made to present to our board, Indian Oil Board, some of the projects which I was doing. Later on, with my own experience also, I gained some insights into how boards work. But not, I would not say that I'm expert yet. But yes, this exposure, having being posted as a, non-executive director from our company because of my position and experience in these two companies, which are quite diverse, I would say. Lanka IOC is a company which is registered in the Colombo Stock Exchange. It's a 22-year-old company. We set it up almost 22 years back, and our leadership team are the governing people there. But the entire other team is the local Lankan officials only. So again, I would lay the stress on the cultural aspects of it. So definitely, that team has to do all that. And as board members, we have to conform to the Lankan rules and regulations, as well as we have to also interact with the independent directors there, who are local Lankan, very very senior and very learned people. So that is something which has given me excellent exposure in the boardrooms while actually discussing many things which in the socio-political and economic atmosphere or the space of the Lankan economy, what you say. And we all know that Lankan economy is very dynamic and undergoing many change for last few years. So our company has to undergo many changes or shifts in the strategy accordingly. And the independent directors in Lanka are very, very helpful in allowing us to do that, and also do the boundary management for us in some of the places where it's required. So those things are great learnings, and when we are also there, we have gathered information, and we have to, before taking any decision, we must be well apprised of the situation of various equations there. So that is something which is learning for the international boards, I would say, which I got, and still I'm continuing there. So similarly for IOP, I would say that it is a joint venture which Indian Oil has formed with the Israeli company for manufacturing of aluminum air battery or energy systems rather, which are coming new, which is a new concept. And this is what we have been negotiating with them. And finally, the company has been formed here in India. It is registered in India. But as you would understand, the 50% board is consisting of the directors from Finergy, which is again a very exciting and a very kind of different experience in balancing cultural aspects as well as political aspects of that country and that people. And when we're dealing with such international directors as well as their own teams, because we have to interact with their teams also. So that is a very, very valuable and you can say that life-changing kind of a experience, which I am undergoing, and very, very excited to do that.
Yeah, that would be, sir. In other countries, setting up such a big organization is not easy, and I'm sure it would have come with the challenges, but challenges bring satisfaction. So, while we're on the subject of leadership that crosses boundaries, quite literally, your involvement in market entry strategy for ASEAN, and the collaboration with Petronas is such a compelling chapter. stepping into international terrain with different cultures, expectations, and business rhythms. So, what did that experience teach you about staying adaptable, spotting real opportunity, and leading when the landscape is so unfamiliar?
Again, I would say, Tanay, that it was something which opportunity which I got in Indian Oil, which is something very, very dear to me. We were actually at that point of time, initially, when we were searching for some kind of new retail outlet layouts and the RVI, I mean, retail visual identity. At that point of time, it was decided that we must study some international models. So Petronas is a JV partner with Indian Oil in India, and our management requested them to host a team, of which I was part of. And we went to Malaysia, we went to Kuala Lumpur and nearby areas, and we saw their outlets, how they're doing the business, and how they're positioning their different kind of offerings to the customers within the layout of the retail outlet, which was worth learning. So those things plus non-fuel activities which they are doing. Now you would have also experienced in our Indian uh, retail outlets, petrol pumps, a lot of activities have started, which are non-fuel, which you can go to have a ATM. You can also have somewhere you can have coffee, somewhere you can have some other store is there. You can buy certain things. So those are the things which have changed the Indian customer also, and for them we have to bring those uh, value-added services to our petrol pumps also. So this is how, and in the West also you would have seen those kind of things. So this is something which was thought of, and we carried those learnings from Petronas, and we have implemented those in our outlet designs over a period of time, which was again, as a team member, I was quite fortunate to be have carried out that kind of change within this company, and which is also coming in handy to me while guiding the teams, current teams as well as teams in Lanka also. So that is one thing. Then I was talking about the country entry strategy team, which was formed. It was a multi-functional team where we went to ASEAN company Myanmar, because there the government company had in fact uh, floated a tender where everybody was participating apart from us. Everybody was participating from other countries also. So we were allowed to see their facilities so that we suggest how to bring new latest technologies into this country. And I was part of that team, so we went around the entire country and saw their facilities as well as their current set of procedures and safety procedures, safety standards. And we definitely advise their government what needs to change. And later on we our report, based on our report, we actually uh, opened a office there. And as you are aware, Myanmar is a country with a little dynamic political situation, so we have not started operation, but we our office was opened there, and we were in talks with their government. So that was also excellent project where I worked, where the entire logistics, supply chain, right up to the opening of new petrol pumps, how to have a new dealers from the local population. We met a lot of people there, and it was again an excellent exposure to me. Which again third time I'm saying that the cultural aspects of the business which we used to hear, it has come into fore, and definitely it's a very, very disciplined and very nice people when you go and meet them. And definitely I'm sure that sometime like Sri Lanka will also set up our stations there.
Yeah, and from whatever I'm hearing from you, truly shows that traveling around the world, understanding cultures is what enables you to grow so much. So, the balance between strategy and real world action leads me to something that really stood out. Not many leaders get to operate both at the policy table, whether it was shaping national retail strategies or handling technical coordination with regulatory bodies. You've been at the heart of both vision and delivery. So, how did you learn to move between these worlds, between boardrooms and construction sites, and still make it work?
Nice question, Pranay. I think this is, I think I learned somewhere that when you convert your, I don't know about your background, but when you convert from an engineer to a salesperson, it is a big shift. In fact, customer facing from a plant to a customer facing is a big shift because there your boundaries are very limited when you are in a plant. But when you are facing the customer, all your theories go for a six. You know that, and you have to really adapt all your policies, all your strategies to suit the customer's demand. And that is something I very firmly believe that yes, customer is the king definitely, and whatever we do it for the customer. And this is how I have been shaping myself, my own kind of thought processes, as also to my teams, wherever I've been leading the teams, and even now at the all India level, when we frame the policies, we keep the customers in mind. That is the top of the mind, what they want. And for that, if we have to require a kind of a customer insight survey, we do that. We try to find out what's the requirements, and that is how I always guide my team when I was in a board meeting also, or in a kind of a, when the people are presenting to me whatever propositions are there, we have to ask the first question: does the customer need it, or how the customer needs it? So that is something which I firmly believe, and this is how this is what has made my journey very fluid and smooth whenever I have been there. So that is one thing. Again, like I told you, something to do with project management. You have to whenever you think of a project, the project has to be well monitored. No overruns, time overruns, no cost overruns. Financial aspects have to be spot on. So all these three, four things combined, I think that is a requirement of a board director, I would say, because we have to keep a sharp eye on whether the management is maintaining all these things, and at the same time has the customer in top of its mind. So this is how I deal with it.
Yeah, a customer-centric approach. Sir, hearing how you move between those layers of leadership so fluidly, it really makes me curious about where the arc leads next. With such a diverse and accomplished journey behind you, do you see yourself leaning further into strategic board rules now? Or is there a new kind of challenge or vision that you are quietly working towards?
Tanay, you are very right. I mean, as I'm going to superannuate, after superannuation, I'm looking forward to leading teams only through the boardrooms. This is my uh, what I feel I should do, because the kind of experience I've gathered should be disseminated. I should not sit quietly and pass away time just like this. So I must disseminate. I must give back what I have learned, and I see a lot of promise in the youngsters, but they need to be guided, and right guidance at the right time, I think it can change a lot in the way things are being done in any company. And this is what I plan to do, and I think it will be most dear to me.
I think it would be a pleasure for any organization to have you, sir. So I guess that naturally brings us to something you've seen up close where leadership meets accountability. With your experience shaping both policy and execution, how do you see the role of corporate governance evolving in today's fast changing business landscape?
You rightly said, Tane, corporate governance is a term we have been hearing, and we keep seeing one or the other deviation from the government governance, and we see that some or the other scams are coming to fore, and there's a requirement. I would say there is a requirement that the promoters, they behave responsibly. And I know that the promoters, even if the company has turned public, the promoters hold it very dearly to their heart, and they want the company to progress in a very fast fashion. So maybe they might be cutting corners because of that. Or if some of the promoters, if they have an ulterior motive to their heart, then also somebody has to be there to check it. And over a period of time, you would have seen that the regulatory framework is becoming more and more stringent, and new guidelines are coming in our country as well as other countries also. And but I think now some global benchmarks are similar everywhere; they are applicable. So I think that that's why. being a director in an international company also does not make me much alien to the fact that whatever is being practiced in our country, similar practices are there in other countries also. Because ultimately, those governing regulatory bodies have the interest of the investor in mind. So that is something which always is there, and I think being uh, part of such boards in a non-executive capacity gives me that role. So that is what I am looking forward to, even as a participatory in the boards as a non-executive, independent kind of positions. I would like to say that we have to keep a sharp eye on such deviations. Maybe there may be something which is being done inadvertently, but at the same time, the same have to be pointed out, and so that the promoters or anybody who is trying to do any unethical practice need to be alarmed. Thank you.
Yeah, 100%, because it is the way going forward, being compliant, taking care of your company taking care of a few things now at least is being given a lot of importance, which wasn't earlier probably.
Yeah.
So this gets me to our last question, that you recently joined Directors Institute, an ecosystem built around future ready board leadership. So we'd love to hear about what drew you to it and how your experience has been so far with us and how it's affected your leadership journey.
Like I was just discussing, Tanay, that I look forward to being associated with board. So I came to know that Directors Institute is is actually involved in a program of skill development. And as I told you initially, that I was a big proponent of learning. So learning is something which I always tell my teams to do, keep constant upgradation. They have to be trained. So that is one thing which I was always as a leader I have practiced. So I wanted myself to be the same because I have been groomed in this company like this only. I have had some very good training programs, and which has also shaped me as a leader. And similar thing I wanted to continue. So with the kind of curriculum with the Wolves University which I have seen, I'm sure that it will help me in my upgradation of my skills, and it will help me in my current role as well as the future roles which I'm envisaging in the boards of various companies. Typically, I would like to be in boards of companies which are doing digital transformation or renewables. I mean, because I have also worked in this transition of renewables, so that is something which I understand the government regulatory framework on that. So those kind of things I want to learn, and but at the same time, whatever other skills are required with respect to the governance of boards, I must learn and upskill myself.
Thank you so much for this conversation, sir. It has been nothing short of inspiring. The clarity with which you've navigated infrastructure, innovation, and leadership is truly insightful. And I know that our audience are walking away with so much to reflect on. So, thank you so much once again, sir, for sharing your journey with us today.
Thank you, Tanner. It was excellent talking to you. Nice talking to you, and looking forward to some more conversations with you. Thank you.
Likewise, sir. And to our audience, thank you so much for tuning in to FaceTime with Leaders, brought to you by Directors Institute. We'll be back soon with more stories, conversations that spotlight the people building the future of leadership. Until then, stay curious, keep leading forward, and as always, have fun in your journey. Thank you so much.